Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained, as this is the day after Chelsea lost against City and we find ourselves out of top 4 now. Only managed to win one game in the last 7 Premier League matches and it's looking darker and darker. It's not looking good whatsoever. And it's about time we're having a serious talk and discussion. Will not be fancy editing in this video. We need to get into it immediately, of course. And I feel like this was maybe always bound to happen. Before we actually blaming any sporting directors, maresca, players, they deserve criticism. But you're gonna understand that we need to look upstairs on the highest floor. We need to start with the owners because they are the one that has allowed everything of this to happen. They decided to go in a different direction, a new direction that has never been applied here at Chelsea. And the model is basically about recruiting players under 25 years old that has low wages, and then we can later sell them for profit. We're also purchasing them and amortizing the fee. So this whole project is about flipping players. Everyone has came to realize that now. A lot of Chelsea fans at least. The sporting directors has of course taken this job. They're getting nice wages, but they're only doing what they're told to do. They're only looking at this data recruitment sort of thing, and then they're picking players there. And Maresca has signed a contract to only be the head coach. He has barely anything to say. And if he has anything to say, there will only be a collaboration if he wants players that actually suits the model. He won't get any elite players. He won't get players with ridiculous wages. He won't get experience into this team. And you cannot build a proper winning squad that is ready to compete for titles in that way. It's always nice to have that mixed blend of experience and youth. But the experience and leadership and the elite in this team is barely existing in this squad. And it's the owners that has allowed this to happen. They decided to go this path. And as long as they don't decide to change it, we will probably be in the same place. We might get a little bit better. Maresca might improve the squad a little bit, the players a little bit. We might find ourselves in Europa League, who knows? Maybe even Champions League if we're lucky. Somehow Maresca turns into a genius and changing all of this. And honestly, I gotta admit, I was completely wrong. I didn't foresee the future because I thought Maresca played some stunning football. And before Christmas, I was so sure if we continue this way, we're gonna achieve top 4. That has completely gone out the window. And I feel like we fans want to be optimistic and believe in that because it's been so long time ago since we had success that you desperately want it back. Now the season isn't over. We still have chance of getting top 4, but it's not looking good whatsoever. And it's only the owners that we need to look at first. The directors is only doing what they're told to do. Maresca only doing what he is being told to do. Pochettino had enough. He quitted this job. I think Maresca, if he's not quitting this job, he's gonna get sacked eventually, as Potter, Tuchel and Pochettino did. Pochettino left, but at least Tuchel and Potter got sacked. So I don't see, this is a job that is not for footballing reasons. Any manager will struggle here, no matter your experience. Maresca is inexperienced, he is naive in some situation, he has still lots of things to learn about being a manager, of course. But any manager that takes this job will be heavily nerfed. I'm gonna say that. There should be a collaboration with sporting directors and manager. I'm not saying a manager should get any player they want, but there has to be a honest and truthful collaboration. If Maresca wants this type of profile, no matter what age, then the directors go after and find that. But it's too much political decisions at this football club. The owners is dictating everything. They're dictating what the journalist is saying, what Maresca is probably saying as well. They're going into the dressing room. I mean, you cannot work as a manager in such an environment. It's absolutely crazy. Now, one thing I'm gonna come into in this game, briefly, we're gonna talk about the game very briefly. I thought it was gonna end in a draw, 2-2, 3-3 draw. And it's gonna be a lot of goals. There were a lot of goals, but from City side. We started the game pretty well, and we took advantage after just a few minutes from a misplaced header from City's new signing, and Jackson could just square it to Madueke, who could tap it in. We taken the lead, and in the first half we continued to have pretty decent chances. Palmer and Jackson was through on goal. Palmer just putting too much power on that pass, and therefore Jackson had to run away from the goal to control the pass, and then the situation was completely gone. If we would have taken the 2-0 lead there, we would probably have gone and won this game. I feel like after just 25 minutes, we decided to sit more back. We weren't as aggressive, and Manchester City got too much time on the ball. And that's how they also scored the equalizer. They're putting a fantastic through ball. I can't remember who was through on goal, but it ended up with Guardiola putting the ball into the net, and it's an equalizer. We tried to play with a very high line. Our defender stepped up, playing the City forwards on offside, but Madueke was the one that didn't concentrate and paid attention to the offside trap we put the forwards in. So therefore, City's goal was standing because their players were onside. It is sort of that we're not sync as a team. We're not taking right decision in certain moments. And in terms of that aspect, we have a long way to go and have things to improve upon. The second half starts, and we're not as good as we were in the first half. City continue to control in the game. They're adding their second after a insane Sanchez mistake. Why did he go so far out from the goal when Chaluba was catching Haaland? If Sanchez were actually in goal on the line, he would have saved that shot. And it's another mistake Robert Sanchez is making, which I'm gonna come into very shortly. And then City, of course, adding the third one. Can't remember who even scored it. Yeah, it was Foden on a counter where Haaland pinned Colwill. Chaluba didn't track the runner, which was Foden. And the game is finished. Then Maresca is throwing in players, everything he can. And Kunko, Neto, the whole bench to try and change the game, but it was too late. You can lose against City, of course, have fantastic players, but I think Maresca laid out a fantastic game plan, especially in the first half. We had the opportunities to take advantage of. We didn't do that, and if you don't do that against City, they're gonna capitalize on it and win the game, which they did. I thought also we were gonna be more aggressive against the midfield since they're aging. They don't have the same legs like before. I feel like we didn't do that enough. We didn't attack them in the wide areas, especially against Matheus Nunes, who is not a pure right back. So, yeah, it feels like when we're losing the grip of the game and the opponents decides to control the game, like we don't know what we're gonna do. Because we have such a young squad that they're looking around and they have no one to turn to. There's no captain, there's no leader. You can find a bit of leadership in James and Chaluba, but it's not like you're looking at a Thiago Silva there that telling the players and knows exactly what needs to be done. And that's what I also want to come into. Like, Maresca has tons of things to improve upon, but he's not getting the signings he needs. He probably wants elite and experience like Potter wanted, like Pochettino wanted. You need this nice blend of mix. Otherwise, the job will be almost impossible. City have gone and signed 3 players to strengthen their side, squad depth. We have only recalled Chalobah, who we eventually is going to sell in the summer. We're not acting quickly. We're only thinking of opportunities. It's time to wake up, Chelsea fans. You cannot operate as a serious football club that wants to win everything in this way. We're gonna come into Robert Sanchez shortly. Maresca defending him. Continue to playing despite him being the goalkeeper, making most mistakes in the league. Absolutely crazy. I feel for players when they make mistakes, they're not doing it on purpose. But we are Chelsea. We're gonna have to have some standards here. And Maresca is either contradicting himself or is listening to what is said above him. Because he mentioned when the season started, you're gonna have to earn your game time. And Sanchez hasn't earned that. He has made mistakes now. And I think it's about time Jorgensen is getting an opportunity. We have Petrovic on loan, smashing it at Strasbourg. Who even benched Sanchez last season when Pochettino was a manager. I don't even know anymore. Like, is it Maresca that is being stubborn, arrogant, or is he just being told what he's gonna do? Honestly, I could believe both point of views. Having attacking players that is indecisive in the final third. I think Jackson, his overall game, absolutely fantastic. I think we should switch into being a winger like he was before. And sign a proper striker up front that adds that box threat. Or link-up play and goal-scoring threat. So, I don't know where we're going from here. I don't know how we can change this. Maresca is definitely not going to change his tactics. He's going to stick with his inverted fullbacks. All this kind of stuff. Wide wingers. He's not going to change anything because this is his philosophy. Whether we like it or not. But I think a manager that takes the Chelsea job will be massively nerfed. Because they're not getting what they need. And they are forced to play with players that has been signed by the club that they never asked for. I can understand you're not going to get everything immediately. I think you also have to prove yourself as a manager. You deserve the signings you need. You have to also show what you can do. But at least give him like 2-3 signings that he can work with to begin with. That he wants. In City being run exactly how you should be run. Even if they have these 115, 130 charges. They taking actions when things is going south. And backing Pep Guardiola. I hope Enzo Maresca can go against the owner, stand up for what he believes. If but I don't think he's gonna do that because he's getting really nice wages. Maybe he sees this job as an audition. Even if he gets sacked or leaves in the end of the summer, he's still been at a top club and got the experience. He will have many job opportunities if he's not a Chelsea manager in the future. So that maybe tells you that he is a yes man. A bit of a rant video. There's so many things I want to go through, but the video will be take forever. It's gonna be forever. So I hope you're understanding my point of view that we need to look at the owners first. And I think they are the only one that can change this. As long as they're not changing the project, nothing is going to get better. So this is all for the match review and the serious discussion. If you're brand new here, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell so you never miss when content drops, and CFCexplained is out.